Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. We got a full squad for you today. We've never had a podcast
with 5 people.
This many big lads. Razzy's got the handheld mic.
Table's never been messier.
It is fucking atrocious, this setup, but
It's got
works.
good stuff though, Game Boys.
It's got some Game Boys on there. So thanks everyone for watching Coachella video. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was mad.
How many views now?
Just the to be very specific.
Please
we have got 992.5 thousand views on the Coachella
Can we just call
video.
it a million now?
Not
I mean,
yet,
to be honest with you, by the
much,
time
yeah.
people hear this,
yeah, absolutely.
No, it's gonna
I
completely
think we'll
go.
put this out this evening, to be honest.
really?
This is live.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is this live? So we
Years
so-
ago.
Thanks so
You stop that, you.
I've still got the Coachella.
Everyone's gone now.
I've
Everyone's
still-
tuned out.
Still got the Coachella cough. Still a lot of dust in there. So we're gonna talk a bit about Coachella and our experience now the dust has settled. Pardon the pun. Did we all have a nice time? Where do we want to start?
What about the flight there?
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
flight, that.
got a flight from London Heathrow,
God, that was
Terminal
a
3.
I thought that was a shit flight.
Terminal?
Do you think?
What?
One of the best flights I've ever
I
had.
hated it.
I've flown
Lovely.
fucking loads.
So there was no one on plane.
Yeah, there
were
was.
on
There was Mr.
fucking loads of
Brightside
people.
sat next to me.
That's why you Bon Jovi. Your bestie was there.
This fucking guy on the flight thought Mr. Brightside was classic rock. Are you kidding me?
Is it not?
His name was Rob Kellis.
God, he was
so
annoying.
loud and gormless, bless
And
him.
he
I
would
wonder what he's
just
doing nowadays.
he'd just keep
Shouting at his
interrupting.
wife.
Just keep interrupting me to tell me a little fact about his life that I don't
Yeah.
care about, with no follow up and no context.
I know what
Anyway.
it's like living with you.
I've met the New York Dolls and played one of their guitars. Cool. I didn't fucking ask you about that.
Well,
I'm trying to sleep. I'm literally trying to sleep.
Maybe he thinks this guy looks like his mates are cool. I'm
This guy
gonna
looks
see
like a
if
wanker
they're in
as
a
well.
band.
A fellow wanker. Oh, yes. Get in.
Oh no, boys.
I think I'll be friends with him.
I hope he enjoyed the Yosemite National Park.
I'm sure he did. He definitely had a less interesting time than we did.
I think that was a good,
I don't think
good
we did.
flight.
It was.
It was empty. So we all had a row in
ourselves.
economy. Obviously, we
3
fly
seats
economy.
each.
Not anymore, bitch. Couldn't
made
afford the
We
upgrade.
made some good AdSense, in these last couple of days.
Yeah,
It's mad, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
for the business.
I'll
class
tell
flights
you
next
off
time.
camera how much we made, but it's.
Yes.
One extra legroom seat.
It's, do you know what? We might be able to afford the Wi-Fi on the next flight for all of
Yeah,
us.
that plane comes with Wi-Fi.
So yeah, we all had a row
People.
each, which was very nice, comfortable. For some reason though, Raz didn't leave us. We all could have had a row. You were still sat next to me for like 4 hours,
Just wanting to hold his hand.
literally next to me.
I said, do you
You can tell he don't know what he's doing.
stop this?
I did wonder at the
Stop.
time, like,
I-
why you two was still in a row together.
Because I said, do you want to go to the row in front? And he was like, nah.
Yeah, he don't
no.
want to move, but
He
you
was-
can.
He was like, we're fine, just chilling here. And I was like, yeah, okay. He's made his mind up for us both.
I think having the rows to ourselves was worse than having just the seat
What about on the flight?
because you're
You had to talk to your best
the
mate.
problem is you're teased with a bit of luxury because you've got
Yeah.
a full 3 seats to yourself, so you try and lay down and you
You've
try and
got
get
the room
comfortable.
to your left and right, but the leg room's still shit.
The legroom shit, and if you lay down, like I laid down in like a fetal position across the seats, and you've got the gap in the
Lumpy,
seats and the seat belts, and
Mummy.
and
and
he
I-
couldn't call his mum though because he was on a flight.
Yeah,
so-
He needed that Wi-Fi.
I kept asking you to
to
sit.
call her on WhatsApp.
have I missed something? Here?
No, never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Inside joke.
Is that a joke at my expense?
That's a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah,
at
yeah.
your
Fucking hell.
expense.
You should know better.
Yeah. So anyway, right. This isn't even important. People aren't going to listen for flight, are they? So
We-
we get out there anyway.
We got 2 free bottles of champagne though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Virgin Atlantic, great
yeah,
service.
Dan had a drink.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Smashed, don't you?
And the
one drinking
and the
overdone.
air woman gave us a goodie bag at
Yeah,
the
the
end.
woman in the
Yeah,
air.
woman.
The air woman.
Did you just assume their gender?
They were women though. You could see.
Yeah, she was a thought.
You could see that. Whoa!
No, she was lovely. Yeah?
Excuse you.
Yeah, she was lovely. Dan invited her out.
Dan had
No, I
one
just
drink
said-
and thought a woman loved him again.
Bridie, tell him
His eyes aren't painted on, are they?
tell him the story about upgrading to first class.
Okay, so the flight's empty, and the air hostess woman,
Air hostess.
air hostess, she goes over,
air hostess
speaks to this guy,
woman.
looks like an Arabian guy. He's asking for free upgrade.
Totally not important that he looks Arabian.
He's Arabian.
I
He wanted a free upgrade. And I remember,
What part of Arabia?
Huh? Just the Arab.
He's just
area.
trying to paint the picture for everyone
Yeah,
listening.
God, man, it's a podcast. You got to let set the scene. Flight sensitive.
Right,
God, this is a nightmare.
how many wings were on the plane?
The pre-flight
2.
checks have been done. 1 wing, 2
Right,
wings.
so
Hello.
plane's empty, and this guy wants an upgrade, so he's asking her, and I'm sure she said like 50 quid or something like that.
£49.
49 quid.
£49 is what it was.
Honestly, she did to him because she was typing away on the little like thing, and he was like, nah. So I go to Kelly, I was like, 49 quid to get into the next section, the
Like upgrade
economy
to the
plus or plus section.
middle class.
The
Yeah.
semi-business.
Bit more
Um,
leg room, be a bit nicer.
PSC
Slightly
built
bigger TV.
in. Yeah.
We build the woman over she comes, and we're like, oh yeah, 2 of us want to go in there, and there's like a little and she just don't know the price. Like, she just don't know her price structure at all, so she's faffing around. And then she just, like, out of nowhere, just pulls, like, yeah, 500 quid.
It was 489 quid, is what she said. And that's
489
the
quid.
reason why you probably thought you heard 49 quid.
For one guy, though.
Yeah,
But
so,
There was
so-
only one guy before.
Yeah.
The Arab guy on
So
his own, there was only one.
I reckon
He wanted to get in.
I reckon you heard 49 quid, and it was 489 quid per person.
Safe to
Wasn't
say we
Ras might be
didn't
right.
we didn't do
wasn't.
the upgrade.
She said it was 489 for 2. I think she just didn't know the price, and she was
And
just
just-
based on what she was on about.
They look like they can afford this
Yeah.
much.
Not
Arab,
a lot.
Arab guy, 49 quid. Pale white boys, 500. Get him in.
So yeah, we didn't upgrade to first
No, we still
or
didn't.
economy.
There was no point, really.
But I thought that was a shit flight. We didn't have enough sleep. We were hungover because we were fucking drinking till like 2-3 in the morning, weren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have enough sleep on any flight. That's same. Like that. That I'd have said I had more sleep because we had the little ability to lie down.
I guess each to their own. I struggle sleeping in somewhere that's not
I
at
just
least
went,
half
I
comfortable.
just went into like ultra low power mode. Like, I
Same.
didn't really sleep. I just had my headphones in and just didn't really listen or think about anything
I
for
watched.
4 hours, I think it was, and I was just getting more annoyed that I wasn't sleeping.
We all watched that
3 or
sh-
4 movies.
And we all watched that shit Simpsons episode.
Oh,
I
the,
didn't
Yeah.
watch that.
the Elon Musk episode.
Yeah.
of The
I watched that on the
Simpsons.
way back.
I watched
That-
The Matrix.
God, that was
Oh.
fucking wank.
So
What a
we
load
get
of
into LA.
shit.
Come on. So we get to LA,
Yeah,
get off the plane,
yeah.
we go through the piano style terminal or wherever it was, or the whatever guitar
In
style.
LAX
The Tom
with the-
Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Bradley.
Tom Brady International. We get off, go into there, and then come out into LA, and
We go pick up the van.
yeah.
Pick up the van.
God.
Where
The
did it-
service at the van place, and the reason
Called
that
Escape
Escape
Campers.
the reason that they got like quite a prominent shout out in our million view video is
Oh, we had
because
1 million views.
almost is because the service was so good, because we got roped into like running an errand for him.
He was so unhappy to start with this.
I didn't know what the actual story was, so I'm like outside like looking at some of these vans because I'm a bit of a car guy, you could say.
What
A
are you
bit
looking at?
Not
quirky.
a van guy then.
What are you
no.
looking at vans for then?
I'm looking at the vans because they remind me of
Such a
cars.
car.
One of them had cars painted on side. Anyway, and I go into office where everyone else is, and I'm told, "Oh, we're taking this ladder for these other campers to collect." So obviously, first of all, I'm like, "How have we been roped into that?" But then
Instead of being like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but we
I'm
delegated
on holiday.
the task
I'm on
to
holiday.
Dan.
Yeah, Dan ended up dealing
It wasn't
with
really
that.
delegated. I took the task.
Do you have an American number? Yeah, I got an American. Yeah, I got an American.
Did the bloke
Don't have an
text me?
American number.
Did the bloke text me?
I don't know.
Yes, he did.
Anyway,
And he
so
also
we had
called me.
to take this ladder for these other people who had gone to Coachella, and the van place had forgot to give them their ladder to get into like the top bed. So we took that, but because we took that, like they looked after us and they gave us camping chairs for free. So the camping chairs that were sat
Yeah, and
in
a
at
picnic
Coachella,
table.
table,
The
that was
picnic
free.
table
Shit.
was a great shout.
table,
Yeah.
and even the Bud Light seltzers,
Yeah.
which were actually pretty nice.
They
to be
were
fair.
lovely.
The orange one was so
You-
good.
You all seem
Yeah.
to just moan about them.
No, we didn't.
No.
It seemed like that
Oh,
to me.
yeah, I think you're thinking of the Heineken ones that were bad. We all like the seltzers.
the Heineken
The
ones.
seltzer ones are the ones where we had a different like
Oh,
flavour each
each.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Heinekens are the ones where it's not actually branded Heineken.
Yeah.
It was like watered down.
Oh, the
Heineken.
ranch water. Shit.
But yeah, escape campers were great, and we'll no doubt use them again next year.
A really good van as well. Like it had plenty of room, loads of space for everyone, and the back where the little kitchen area was fantastic.
Could have
Like,
done without the stove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't need a stove, but other people have them at places like that, don't
Yeah.
So apparently at Glasgow, not to get too off topic, but I don't think you can take a van unless it's got a stove and a toilet.
Oh, as in it's a camper van.
It's like reverse Coachella.
Yeah, so you can only take a camper van if it's actually classed as a camper van.
Because
It's got to have a table. It's got to have a fitted stove. It's got
pouring
to
your
have.
piss out under the van.
They don't want you just slinging a mattress in back of a transit, which to me is a bit weird. But anyway,
Yeah,
we're
that's
talking
rock and
about
roll
Coachella.
for you, man. Like,
Fuck me. So I had a dream last night, and all you were in it, and I'm a bit
what are you
upset.
dreaming about me for, man?
I'm
I
a bit
consent to
I'm a
that.
bit upset about it actually.
I hope it was fully dry.
We
It was a
were
fully
all
dry
going
dream.
out with your bird.
No.
For a drink.
So we were at Glastonbury, and
Yeah.
I was stood watching Taylor Swift headline. She's not there, but I was stood watching her headline on my own because you were all sat around camp and couldn't be asked coming, and I was
We
really
Sounds right.
fucking annoyed.
We
so
were
I
all having a good time.
I came back to get you. I was
Yeah.
like, "Come on, guys! There's only like 3 songs left,"
Falls up on your mum.
and you didn't come, and I was fucking annoyed because that better not happen if we go.
Oh, so you'd like him to come if we go?
Yeah, I'd love him to
If we
come.
go falls up on your mum,
You'd like him
you'd
to
like
come.
him to come. Okay.
Right.
What's the fourth man doing?
Up?
What's the fourth man doing?
Up on your mum?
We've got a man who's experienced in these kind of areas now, Jake.
Straddling between Chevys.
So we picked up the van. Let's just fast forward. People don't want to hear about our time in LA. There's a video that documents our time
Maybe
in
that
LA.
can be a different podcast.
We went on a
There's
tandem
video that
bike
does
and
the
it's
Coachella
funny.
one that's got 1 million views.
It almost has 1 million.
Almost.
It has 1 million.
So we stayed in a place the day before Coachella. We stayed in a place called, what was it called? Rancho Relaxo.
No,
What?
that's a
Springs?
fucking program.
It was called the Hilton.
No, but it was called like Hilton Rancho Relaxo.
Oh,
or
they were
something
called
like
like Ranch or Mirage.
That's just
something like
something
that.
you've just
That
pulled
was
out
it.
of The Simpsons.
Mirage.
Is that out of The Simpsons?
I think
Absolutely,
that was
yeah.
in your dreams.
Yeah, it is out of The
Yeah.
Simpsons, isn't it?
Rancho
It was Relaxo. No, it was called Rancho Mirage. And it
Right.
was a nice hotel and it was a bargain.
It was all right for
Yeah,
the
love it,
6
that
hours that we were there.
So we booked it like it's a Hilton, like the closest Hilton to Coachella, as far as the map was telling me.
It wasn't.
And it was like £180 for 5 lads, booked 2 weeks before going.
I'm amazed that it
Yeah.
actually fit 5 people. I was ready to get there and be like,
We need
yep,
another bed.
yes, sir, you've booked a room for 2.
Sorry, I can see the problem here. Yeah, but it was good. And then we woke up that morning at 4 in the morning.
No, it was earlier than that.
Yeah.
I
Three?
woke up at 3.
Earlier than that, I'm sure it was like half
Yeah,
2.
maybe you're right. I think we left the place at 4.
Yeah, so we were
Yeah.
out the door at 4.
Yeah.
That rings a bell.
And
No, more like half 3, I think.
Yeah, maybe
really,
you're right.
Yeah, it was
Somewhere
about-
between-
either way,
somewhere
maybe-
between half
either
three
way,
and 4.
it was
I-
early.
It was fucking early.
I
was
remember
dark.
getting up at 1.
Mackey's was serving breakfast.
Yeah.
So
It serves breakfast 24
All
hours in
day.
America.
Yeah, so it's still a valid point of.
A varied.
First time in America.
Very
Oh, do you know what?
Varied
Shut up.
point. It's very varied.
Right, either way, it was early, and we left. Got a Mackey's.
and then went to sit in traffic for about 2 hours, was it?
Do you know what? It was.
didn't feel that
It felt
long.
very quick for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't
Yeah.
driving.
I was
excitement of it, though, wasn't it?
dying for a piss.
I was
though.
dying for a piss and a poopy. God, it was bad.
Is there a bit of feedback coming through on your headphones?
No,
No,
No.
I can hear it as well.
It's like electric feedback.
it's fine on mine.
it's fine on me.
A little bit when you speak.
There it is.
It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. You've just well done. You've now drawn the listeners' attention to that.
So now they're all going to be thinking about
Yeah,
that throughout
no.
listening to this.
Thinking about this.
We
bucket
left at
set.
16 minutes past 4 in the morning.
Wee, thank
Yeah,
you.
So we must have got
Right,
up
I
at
figured
2.
out where the noise is coming from.
What's going on? Is the screen smashed?
No, it's just got a Charmander, Bulbasaur, and a
Someone's obviously turned it on, haven't they, over there? I wonder who that was. Turn the Game Boy Advance SP off. We're trying to talk about Coachella.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Something that was great was when you're there and you got set up, it was so, like, say it was our
It was
first
so
time.
quick.
It was so fucking efficient.
Yeah.
We went from being in the van, getting checked, getting through security, getting set up with the tent and the gazebo and the van set up and having a drink before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a fucking
Yeah.
3 hours
immediate-
isn't bad to
It's
get
hard-
to get
it's-
out the hotel and be set up.
There's more fucking around with Leeds Fest that we've been to 12
Yeah,
times.
absolutely.
It was
We-
organised chaos. Like you pull into that car park, there's just cars. It seems like just everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go straight through.
And it was just mental. There was just like 3 guys.
Yeah.
Just Yeah, just turn into
Walking
there,
you
turn
in.
into there, turn into there, and it just works so well.
Excellent. And the
did.
searching was good. So like we pull up to the station. The guy said, "Can everyone get out of the van?" They're just having a little light look around.
Well,
like
there were
Yeah,
like if you saw a couple of cars in front, they were proper like ragging people's stuff out and going through it.
Yeah, but they
It
were
was like,
Romanians.
as soon as we we got out of the car,
We showed the British
yeah, it was
passport.
like, "Hi there, how are you today? Are you having a good one?"
We did. The thing is, we were like strategizing on what to do, and we did the right thing by immediately saying, "Right, gang, we're going to own up straight away. We've got 12 Smirnoff Ices in the back,"
And a
and then
bender.
by saying
Gang,
by
just put 'em on
saying
edge.
by saying like we've got something to surrender, that then makes them think, well, they can't possibly have anything else. And we didn't really. You had a
Yeah.
bit of weed.
And that's how we got all the heroin in.
Yeah,
As we were driving in, I remember trying to film that time lapse out the window.
Yeah.
And we didn't have like sufficient
There's nowhere to
mounting
put it.
equipment for the phone. So like Razzie had some packs of tissues, and the tissues like resealable with a little sticker, and I used the sticker to like stick my phone to the window.
Some
and it just
MacGyver shit,
fell off. I don't think that clip's even in the
I'll tell you what,
end, because it just all that time lapse was getting was the fucking Suzuki next to us.
big lesson learned for next year. Put your sun cream on before you go. Even if it's fucking 3 a.m.
I think
Put on your sun cream then.
Yeah.
just as soon as you land, put the sun cream on because
Yeah.
we burnt the day before.
It's interesting how none of us got a tan.
I did a little bit.
Not really though. Like
Mainly
compared
t-shirt
to
tan, alright.
compared to how burnt we were, like you'd think that
I
we'd
don't
be a
think-
bit browner.
We weren't that burnt. We've been much more burnt than
Yeah.
that before.
Have you seen
Mind
the
you,
post, mate?
we had
Was
blisters.
super burnt.
Yeah, they turned up the contrast on that. Probably dialed it up.
You put the looks up.
I'll have you know the contrast is fully organic on that thumbnail. Here's what's interesting, like you know, normally with a thumbnail for like a flagship video like this, like a festival one,
Yeah.
the thumbnail's done like a week before. We come round, we pause in front of the green screen. It's interesting how this is done so well, and it was literally cobbled together as like a demo. Like I made this thumbnail as a demo to say like, is this along the right lines?
Yeah.
And then we just used it, and it worked.
Did you cut yourself out of that picture and then make yourself bigger? And put
No,
yourself-
no. I'm looking at it now, actually.
Like
Is it the one where
BFG?
we're all with his sunburn?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just because you were closer to the mirror.
Yeah. Is that in the mirror, that?
Yeah.
But
taken
yeah,
in
it's
the mirror.
Not in the Daily
is-
fucking Mail, cunts.
Too fucking right.
Why do they never shout when we do something good, like 1 million views?
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine. So Lad Bible reached out to us for second time, and they're like, "Can we run an article about your thing?" And I'm kind of glad they haven't, in a way, because then this is fully organic.
Yeah.
But they're annoying for that
Yeah,
because they've
fucking
done that
posers.
twice now. They've said like, "Can we run this thing?" And then we get a little bit excited because we're still small, and then they just don't do it.
Yeah,
They were going to do it about
for
seven
a
part.
meeting.
I get it. I get
Have a
it.
meeting and just be
But-
like, "What's worthy?"
Fuck the Lad Bible.
Probably went out straight away, man.
Yeah.
How
They
are
had
they
like
going to
an
market that to their
A2E
audience
kind
as
of
well?
like.
Well, I mean, they run like stories on like I sound like I want them to run. I don't particularly care now, but
Seems like it.
but they run a lot more boring stuff than that for
Yeah.
sure.
How the fuck a Lad Bible still a thing? Especially with a name like Lad Bible.
You know what I
How
remember?
the fuck is that going?
I remember when they'd done like Lassie's Bible, and instantly it was just like, "Is this a cookbook?" Just like, it shut down within like a week or something. It was like right at the infancy of like those kind of things popping.
I bet
up.
Harry Styles would hate that.
He hates everything, doesn't he? Apart from himself.
So
Do you know him well?
yeah, got to Coachella. Thumbnail were good.
Wow.
Thank you for listening.
Let's talk about Jonathan. So straight away,
Jonathan.
So one of the
I mean,
one of
he
the
sent me a
one of the-
message yesterday.
One of the first things we
Oh.
did when we got there, and like again, I'll say this: the dust had kind of settled a little bit, and we kind of like
We're just chilled
like
out.
itchy feet, want to do something kind of.
7 in the morning, want to get pissed.
So we went to the shop. I think it was me and you, Dan.
Yeah.
Went to the shop to try and get some
I don't
ice.
wanna be involved
And this
here.
was before. Were you with us as well?
Oh, wait.
I bought the
And-
ice.
And that's what.
No,
Oh yeah.
wait.
No. This
This
was
was a bit-
before.
Yeah,
Didn't
it's
open
different.
till 8 a.m., right?
Anyway, so we see Jonathan there. That's where we met Jonathan, our new best mate. And he goes, "Are you guys finished?" And Dan goes, "Finished? We're only just getting started." And Jonathan just didn't really
Way
work
over
for him,
his
did it?
head, just completely oblivious.
But
But it turned out to be
Turned
a really
Turned
nice
out.
bloke, didn't he?
how good was our location where we were camped?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was. That was literally perfect.
just perfect.
Absolutely.
Right next to
fucking
the
perfect.
shop.
Yeah.
Right
near
next
enough
to-
to the arena.
Couple of
Near
rows
enough
in,
to
so you still
toilets
get
and
the
showers.
atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
near the silent disco.
I literally don't know how much more perfect we could have got it.
Yeah.
I think
'Cause
that's due to how early we got there. Though.
Even being
Yeah.
right at the front, like in front of the silent disco, would have been a bit. I don't know. That would have been a bit too much.
Yeah, you
But,
want to
like,
be a couple of rows in.
Yeah, we got to it.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect, that placement.
Yeah.
It just worked. It's like the Lords were smiling down on us and were like, let's sort these lads out.
Yeah.
They've spent
5
12
British
grand,
boys
spent 12 bags.
with
Let's
no
get
clue.
these lads a good time.
Sorted.
And it
Yeah.
just was
Yeah.
So
a good time.
anyone who's listening to this, make sure you go at about 8
No,
a.m.
no,
No.
go about 2 p.m.
Yeah,
Go
in the
about
afternoon.
2 p.m.
The thing is, where the fuck was all the rest of the
It
car
goes. It
camping?
keeps going further. You know, as you walk out and we go right to head to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
arena. If you keep going over that road, it just goes further and further back.
Oh my
Like, I had a
god!
look and it just goes.
Really far back. But yeah, Jonathan. So we met this lad, Jonathan. Literally,
If you're
one of-
listening, Jonathan, we love and respect
Oh,
you.
man,
we
we
miss
love you.
you. We've said
Rest in
about 10 times since we last saw you. If he was in UK, he'd be one of our mates.
Yeah, he was just the nicest guy in the world. He looked like a marine drill instructor.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
He wore these tiny little shorts that Dan loved.
Why were you looking?
Dan was.
I
Dan
didn't even
was-
notice. I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
it
his shots.
The guy was ripped, and he had an M3.
I'm
which
trying
was
to take
really nice.
inspiration from him today, mate. With my
Oh,
Don't
nice.
work with them.
Not really got the body though. Eh? Gordon.
You know what? They've started saying young Gordon Ramsay now, so I'm happy.
Why have we never like?
Why have we
clocked
never
on
thought
to
of that? I
Don't
know.
say
Maybe it's
young.
because he can't cook whatsoever.
Maybe no. You used to call me Rod Stewart on my little Morrison's pasta.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember what we
Yeah.
called you.
No, Barry.
It was Barry
it was
Manilow.
Barry
It was Barry
Manilow.
Manilow.
You
Oh,
look
was
like
it?
Barry Manilow on your
Ed
on your
Sheeran.
Morrison's
You know
pass.
what? I look like everyone that's great.
Barry like
Big,
Manilow's
big
not
Barry
great.
Manilow fan. Eh?
Yeah, I love him. What's he? Do?
I literally don't.
So yeah, we
know.
met Jonathan,
Yeah,
and Jonathan was just the nicest guy in the world. Came over, like this is something that was so American. I've not looked that too much, have I?
no, it's fine.
And literally, hi, my name's Jonathan. I'm here on my own. I just want to.
I just want to introduce myself to you, gentlemen.
Shook everybody's hands.
Good
I was like,
handshake
if you
as well.
need anything, just let us know. Like, your neighbours over here will help you out. We obviously gave him some beers because we're British, and that was that. And they didn't fit in the cooler, so I needed rid.
He sat on
You
his cooler.
farted again,
Yeah,
aren't
it
you? You
stinks that,
smelly
doesn't it?
bastard. Why would you do that on poddy?
'Cause it's alright close.
It's interesting how like 9 times out of 10, I don't want someone to like come into our space.
I guess it's because
Oh, I
everyone,
love it.
everyone-
When we're at festivals, everyone should come to our space.
Not in our space.
it's because at Coachella, everyone that you meet is going to be like 10 times more interesting
Yeah,
than everyone
yeah,
else
you're right,
that
you're right.
that you meet at a UK festival because
And-
they've all got a decent story. It's like, oh, I'm from this place. I'm never going to meet anyone from that
Yeah,
place in
you're
particular
right,
ever
yeah.
again in my life.
He was a real, and he really enhanced the experience. He added a
He did,
sufficient
yeah.
amount.
He was great.
Case in point, we've spent more time talking about him on this than
Than the actual festival.
But he was a good lad. Like, he chipped in
He
the
was, man.
rounds.
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, he did. He was up.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
in on those $160.
He got
Yeah.
the big
Shows.
rounds. Also, when the guy that we didn't want to be sat with us was sat with us, Jonathan kind of came over as like
Oh yeah, he did.
a negotiator and was like, I think it's time you left.
He was
Yeah.
good at
Yeah.
that.
Like,
one.
tried to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Go and see, mate. You should go and see Doja Cat.
Yeah.
You'll love her. I'd get there.
Oh,
I'd,
yeah, that
They've
guy.
started now.
I'd set off now, mate.
Maybe
if I
we
was
should
you.
go,
Five
yeah.
English lads.
No,
too
we're
scared
not
to tell
going.
him to leave.
We're not going.
Yeah, we were too like, if you'd be so kind to,
Yeah, too polite.
possibly.
We
Jonathan
can't-
comes over, get the fuck out now.
Get the fuck away from me, you freak.
This isn't your camp. Aren't you off to Doja? Fuck off.
So we
and we also gave him his first hangover at Coachella.
Yeah.
yeah, Jonathan's first hangover.
Yeah, and he was a sharing guy with the old Stubert.
Yeah, well, he had these weird little joints that were like,
Yeah,
about,
like
about an
minis,
inch long.
yeah.
And the mushrooms.
Don't know how
loads
he
of
got.
fucking
Did he have-
mushrooms.
Oh yeah, he had.
And
He had
Coke.
well, I didn't have loads
They
of
were-
mushrooms.
They looked horrible. I nearly said they were horrible.
They look like
I
something
was,
right
I
out
was
Kelly's
this,
feet,
this
man.
close to having some of them.
They
with them.
did look bad. That could be a make or break. That couldn't it?
Yeah, that's why.
If I get a pizza with mushrooms on it, it's going fucking back. Like,
Going back
never
west.
never
It's
mind.
going back. It's
Never
just going
mind.
back. Go
Never
on.
mind fucking
Went
magic
down
mushrooms.
front in
He
it.
had
So-
Coke and MD as well.
so
He's
we
a man
were-
with a lot of things.
He
I
did
think-
have a lot.
Like, obviously did our research before going to Coachella. Mainly like the Coachella Reddit and there's a Coachella Reddit Facebook group. So big shout out to them lot.
Aye.
But yeah, it was clear that like this wasn't the kind of place where we can be ourselves. in a way like pissing and being sick. And I'm really glad that we just got very quickly into a space where we were just comfortable
That's
being
incorrect.
ourselves.
I saw Jonathan open his car door and have a piss.
Well, he's one
That
of
was
us though,
so
isn't he?
funny.
That's because he was hanging around
That's
with
because
us.
he
He
saw us
came
do
over
it.
and he was like, I saw you guys
He
doing
literally
it.
said, like, I saw you guys doing that, so I thought I'm gonna do it as well.
Monkey see,
So
monkey
he
do.
opened door up 328i
Opened
and had
his
a
car.
pissed outside.
It looked like we
Open
were
door
pissing
what?
into his car though.
But what was funny is like, so we were pissing into a red Solo cup like in the back of the van, or like stood at the like tailgating pretty much, like pissing into it, and then we like pour the piss out of the cup under the van and leave the cup for the next guy. But by the time we got to like the third day, we were just getting a new cup every time.
Well, it got a bit windy,
so
didn't it? And they kept blowing
every
away.
single Solo cup that we took, like 40 Solo cups,
Yeah.
and they all were just used. I didn't have a single drink out of them.
I did not.
Well, let's talk. We don't necessarily have to talk consecutively about our experience. You're a very generous guy, Raz. We couldn't do any of this without you. But it's
Right. Here-
interesting.
here comes the
It's so interesting how
comes the diss.
it's so interesting how like. And we all get in this headspace sometimes when we're
You
fucked
gonna
or
talk- you gonna
exhausted.
talk about my
How you
vodka?
just wouldn't give us the vodka? Like,
Because
it's no issue. To
because
like,
of- because
are you
of-
kidding? Just get. We're your best mates.
Because the problem is,
What's mine is yours.
yeah,
Not the vodka,
but this
though.
is the problem. I didn't want what was yours. I didn't want any of your fucking, what was it, JD?
No, it was Captain Morgan.
Yeah, I fucking hate Captain Morgan's. I found it out about 10 years ago
What'd you prefer, JD?
when I went to Carpe Diem, and I fucking had a Captain Morgan's and Coke, and it was the worst fucking thing I've ever tasted in my life. So that's the reason.
But
Let it be clear.
just share it with the boys, man.
But then I've got
Just split
nothing
it.
to vibe with.
You've got beers.
I didn't want a beer. I wanted to get fucked up. Beers ain't gonna get me fucked up.
Yeah,
son.
if you fucking put one down your neck for once, you pussy hole.
But
But
not
what's
taking stuff down the neck, boy.
what is weird is obviously I edit.
What? Can you just repeat that one?
I
we're
missed
not-
that.
I
It
said
compiles,
we're
it
not
compiles.
all putting stuff down his neck, boy.
Thank you.
He meant
So
Cox.
obviously I edited the vid. So
Yeah.
I saw that clip of like what did you buy from Target
Yeah.
like 10 times.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was particularly funny. I didn't think it was special. I only added the text in like as a last minute thing because I thought,
I'm just so fucked.
and
I
like
can't
we
tell what
we
I'm
all experienced that and we didn't remember it as a particularly funny thing. So it's interesting now.
Oh, guess what? I didn't remember it at
But
all.
it's interesting. But it's interesting how like that manifests itself as like the moment of the video almost, where
Yeah.
people are like referencing it the most and like.
Oh, it's also because Raz looks ugly as fuck.
Ah, come on.
Raz looks like the
Elephant man.
ugliest man I've ever seen in my life
Yeah,
in that video.
You know what? It's all lighting, innit?
Really bad.
It literally was the lighting.
Yeah.
Like, you're not that ugly.
But you
But
were.
in that one, you was
Oh, shit.
ugly as fuck.
Thanks,
You're
bro.
not actually that ugly.
Yeah.
Close, but not that
You're a
bad.
4 out of 10 usually, but on that, you was a minus 200 out of fucking 10.
And it was, oh man, that was so funny though. Like, just because I know I've been in that exact headspace before. Like, I totally get it, but it's
What?
like when you break it down into its core components, it's just so out of character to be like, you're not having my thing. It's like literally all holiday. It's like, do you want one of these? Let me buy you
but-
this.
yeah.
I'm gonna pay for these. Blah blah blah. Don't touch my fucking.
You know
vodka.
what? You know what is funny?
You were having it with my orange juice. Like my orange juice.
Literally half an hour later, when we're inside the dome thing, it's like, can I have some of that, Raz? Yeah. No problem. So I'm drinking it anyway.
Because when you're like you're dancing and you're vibing, like
Vibe check.
Is it because at that point you're already fucked, so you're like, I'll just give it away now?
No, it's not you giving it away. You just want to
Share the vibe, innit?
Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
You know
what?
what? You're not
split it.
wrong.
Yeah.
So why didn't you split it when we were sat down?
I just didn't want
Ain't
you
no
like,
fun
having
when the
a-
homies ain't got none, innit?
So let's talk about silent disco then, because that's
a lot
obviously
happened
where
in
they took the
silent
vodka,
disco.
and we went. I think there was one night where we didn't go
The Friday.
after Harry,
Yeah.
What did
and
we
I
do
think
then?
I think that was we went to bed.
Yeah, you came back early, didn't you?
I think
I was fucked.
I think that was a
Well,
good
no,
idea.
You aimed on going.
Oh, yeah, Jake was fucked.
Oh yeah, Jake had a bun of a little zooty, and I've
One
never
drag
seen a man more comatose in his fucking life.
I was just going somewhere
There's a
else.
great photo of him. It's in the credits of the video, no doubt, when we run through the photos, and he's just stunned, and you can tell he's just ashamed of himself.
Just really not enjoying
It
it.
looks like he's just cacked his pants.
I didn't. I can show you. I was just going somewhere else. I don't know what was happening.
Like, that's what it's about, isn't it?
Here's the weird thing about the silent disco. Again, we were the only people drinking in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Like, were we? It wasn't like we weren't supposed to, because we were walking in with drink in hand, and like we were getting fucked up. The security guards must have seen us.
They were cheersing me as I walked
right.
in.
Well,
with
didn't you
that
walk in
woman?
with
So-
fucking full glass bottle of champagne.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Literally not even allowed.
So
glass.
why was nobody else drinking? Like,
It's just American culture, and it's
It's
weird.
because they're on drugs.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they
So
do a
they're
lot of
fucked on
ND,
drugs.
don't
So oh, that'll
So-
be why they enjoyed the silent disco then. 'Cause
Something that's funny is like we keep referring to it as the silent disco.
but the silent disco was the
we
shit.
we
part.
only experienced the silent part like once for about 20 minutes. So in the video, we're like,
No.
we're off to the
No, we
silent.
didn't.
No.
We had it twice. One was
Well,
for
in the
quite a
video
while.
at least, there's not much footage of the silent disco, but we keep calling it the silent disco. So there's comments like,
It's called the
why
do-
is it silent disco? Because it's obviously
All right,
just
so
fucking out loud.
it's called the Dome. It was called the Dome,
But
right?
that first night, it was like Latino. No, it was like
No, there was 1 hour sets
yeah.
of DJs, and
Yeah.
it
That
was
that
just
was really
it was,
good.
It's a smart idea that because you just get a bit of everyone,
Yeah.
and then when they want them to fuck off, they just start playing songs that the last person really doesn't like, or the
Yeah.
last DJ wouldn't have played.
like a palate cleanser. So
Yeah.
you had an
An
hour of like
appetizer.
Latino dance hits that we'd never heard any
I
of.
mean,
Oh,
95%
speak
of
for
the stuff we do.
and then to like clear out that crowd and get the next DJ on. It was
Brightside.
like Mr.
Mr.
Brightside
Brightside.
and fucking
Oh.
I Write Sins Not
Rock and roll,
Tragedies on.
You know what?
They were all mad mashups, though, weren't it? Like every song
Yeah,
would
that
just be
was
some
good as well.
ridiculous
me,
beat
me and
with some
Jake
song.
enjoyed that 10 minutes. Like it was all the
I know this song.
all the compressed energy for the whole festival just went into 10 minutes worth of like
Yeah, that was
dancing
good.
and jumping around and being a yob.
I'll tell you when we had some immaculate energy.
Go on.
And it was like, the only thing I can compare it to is when we went to the silent disco at the Download pilot on that last day. And it was the last day of Coachella when we went in. And we were just, it was
Only
dead.
ones there.
Good
Yeah.
God, there was some shapes being spun about in there. Fuck me. We were on
That's
fire
when,
in there.
The boy Jonathan got some.
That
There's
is.
something else to say about Jonathan. Jonathan was the keenest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Like he would literally sprint,
The thirsty
drink in hand, over to a girl just to give her a compliment, like, "I like your shoes," and then would like walk off.
Well, that's his in. Just be
Yeah,
like,
it's just like
I saw your shoes from
nice.
300 meters back, and they looked nice then. But wow, now I can actually see them.
those shoes are really cool.
Literally run into people.
thank
as
you.
well.
They're just plain black vans.
They're the same as everyone else's.
Remember we're
but
getting a
they
beer.
look kind of good on you though.
Yeah, you make them work
dance-
better.
yeah, his
Oh,
dancing
the
is
dance
great.
was
Jonathan's
good.
signature dance.
Like his
The
wings
hands
and
up.
the-
God, what?
Even at the dance, he's curling, man. It's like-
Oh, but yeah, the disco,
Yeah,
the
so-
silent disco, or the dome, or whatever we want to call it. It was good.
Yeah,
It was
well,
right
apart
on
from-
our doorstep.
Apart from that DJ on the last night.
You know what? It made
Oh,
made
yeah,
the
Kill
whole
She was shit.
festival. It made the whole festival 10 times better.
Yeah,
like
that was
if
great.
that wasn't there in the campsite,
Yes.
like we
Yeah,
would
on
have
your
just been
doorstep.
getting fucked at camp and have like there'd be no end point. It'd be
Yeah,
like
you're
like
right.
going out without
Yeah.
a nightclub at the end.
You're
that was
right.
really good. That was really, really good.
It was. It's
that
so
first
convenient having it so close.
So
and
we're fucked out.
Like
with that.
straight back to camp, grab some more beers, grab some
Yeah.
more miniatures. It's like a 2 minute,
Yeah.
maybe 4 minute round trip from being in
Yeah.
the middle of the silent disco back to thing with some
Yeah.
drinks for the boys.
That little dodgeball thing was good as well.
Oh, that was great.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we should
they
have
did quite a
we
few
should have
things on
tried to do that.
Little
Like
activities.
Well,
Well,
Raz was gonna, Raz was gonna,
Yeah.
but they just didn't pick. They didn't
Well, it
see him.
ended, didn't it?
and whoever won it at the end got a VIP upgrade, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ain't
Raz
about
would've
leaving my
got that,
boys
yeah.
like that, so you know what I mean.
No, that's right.
Because I would have definitely.
Well, we were selling ourselves with like no VIP, weren't we? Like we're
Yeah.
doing this properly, so that'd be a bit. Oh, let's tell them about the band where we missed the opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
idiot! So there was a band on the lineup who will remain nameless because hopefully we're going to make this work at another festival coming up. And like their manager like knows us and was basically like, this band's just played, they're going home, do you want their artist passes? Like we've got 4 artist
Yeah.
passes to Coachella here, like do you want them? And
Access all areas.
I just didn't see the fucking
The
message.
problem is, like, if the security is worth anything, then they'll have only had access all areas for that one day. And it wouldn't.
Yeah, of
it,
course.
yeah,
it
that's,
wouldn't-
that's what it was.
It wouldn't have even been access all areas. It
Yeah.
would have been access to this one stage.
It would have been like we had at Leeds.
But it'll be access to an artist bar and,
Yeah.
and stuff.
to
wouldn't it?
places that
Yeah,
we
I
don't normally
suppose.
get to go.
It would have been something
We
interesting.
might have seen someone famous.
Well, yeah, we probably would have done. And now,
Yeah, look, I saw my brothers. 1 million views, motherfucker.
oh, yeah, let's check the view
Almost.
count. Let's check the view count.
Live view count.
I'll tell you what I thought was pretty shit generally. The live music at Coachella.
Yeah.
Well, not so
You know-
much the actual music, but the
'cause you can't
crowds
drink.
for me.
Yeah.
It's because you couldn't drink.
The best crowd was go to see Pup.
Yeah.
When there was actually some fucking movement.
You can always rely on pop punk.
But like, how in the world did The Weeknd play Blinding Lights, and the crowd was just still. Like, if that was a UK festival, like,
Very
granted, there would have been
disappointing.
pints up in the air, there would have been jumping about, like, the whole fucking crowd
It's
front to
all
back
that
would have been
kind of-
moving and jumping, but just nothing.
It's like kind of nightclub dancing, isn't it? Where it's like you're
Yeah.
out to
Yeah.
dance with your mates and maybe pull,
Like,
and it's
what
like
was
just
going on?
everyone does that rather than having a crowd that's
But it
got
was like that
energy.
everywhere, even like Big Sean.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Obviously,
you
we
could
wasn't
walk
in
to
there
the front.
because we wanted to drink, so we was in that little like drinking area.
Bar.
And you're looking in, and it's just not even bubbling up in the front air
No.
there. Like, there's nothing going on.
Every
It's just
single
dead.
artist. It
And
was
I guess
mental.
it's a testament to our ethos of like the music don't really matter.
Yeah.
Like festivals are great. If
No,
there's
it don't.
if
Yeah.
there's no one on the lineup that you care about, it's still worth.
Like,
going.
that was one of the worst.
We had a good time at
lineups.
Bloodstock. Do you know what I mean?
Point, yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of the worst lineups that I've ever seen.
It
in
was.
Coachella.
It's the worst Coachella lineup that I've ever seen. We looked at all the old ones, didn't
Yeah.
we? And
Bangers.
at least there was at least some big like AAA rock bands.
Yeah, that's what's
Every-
missing.
There was Kanye,
There was
but-
just no
Yeah.
rock band there.
We
Sol-
needed
Sol
like
won.
a big massive American rock band headline in it.
Yeah.
Rage would have been perfect, and obviously they
Metallica.
were meant to be there. Yeah, Metallica would be great.
It's just not the
No,
crowd
it
though, is
wouldn't.
it? It's not going to bring in the beautiful
Metallica
people.
at Coachella would be so shit.
On
Have they done
Sunday.
it before? Have they done it before?
Nah.
God, think of how different the crowd would be.
Hey, I'll tell you what is good. Speaking of Sunday, we were gonna leave on the Sunday, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm glad we
There
didn't.
were things about it, yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
glad we didn't.
Well, we wanted to leave on the Sunday because we wanted we wanted a shower, so we wanted to get like a cheap hotel, spend the night, and so that we were ready
So
for
we're
flight
fresh.
home. So we were fresh, but we just had a shower in a truck stop,
Which is always the best
and
way.
it was fine.
It was
Yeah.
lovely.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
it was. It was
Yeah.
nice.
And showering
It was
on
nice
the
customer
road
service.
is so good.
The yeah,
You paid extra.
I paid for my own shower for literally no fucking reason.
Double shower.
You know what? It's
Double
just,
dirty.
it's just like tipping all weekend that we apparently just didn't have to do.
Yeah.
I did
That's
it anyway.
Yeah.
but-
But the good thing is as well about the tips is because we all use Monzo, the tips don't actually authorise.
No, mine have.
Have they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
with
it's
these
not-
ones.
Oh.
It's when
it's-
you're writing it down. That
Yeah,
they don't.
Because you signed after.
because you're transacting that amount. You're not like when you're in a bar and they pre-auth your card.
Yeah.
And then you then amend your transaction by writing it on your receipt.
Like IHOP.
Yeah. But when you're at there, it's literally on the POS system, and as you're transacting, you choose the amount and then tap.
Yeah, it goes
then
through
you
as
sign
part of the
after.
transaction.
Well, you know what? I was happy for like 5 minutes then, but just pissed on my parade.
Yep. Shut up.
Unfortunate. What else to talk about Coachella?
The spicy pie was really nice.
spicy
Oh,
The food, to be honest, the
pizza.
food was quite good.
it
all
was.
over.
Yeah.
It was.
Like, it wasn't
great.
What about the lobster?
amazing, but yeah, the lobster a bit. Yeah.
Lobster was
I,
shit, but it set itself up for
Yeah, but
failure,
it's-
didn't it?
But I've had lobster at a fucking festival.
Yeah.
I should have eaten more. I think because of the heat, like it just doesn't
Yeah.
make you hungry at all. Like
Definitely
you don't feel hungry because you're just
Yeah.
drinking loads and loads of water, so that's filling you up, and you just fucking forget to eat. Like through
Yeah.
the whole of the day, you're just like, I'm not really hungry.
Maybe have a
then
couple of packets.
I think that's why I
crisp,
felt
that
like shit for a week.
Yeah, it is.
That might be it.
It's
Yeah.
one that everyone
Know what to
forgets
do
when
for
they're in a
next
hot
time.
country.
I feel like it was a really kind of missed opportunity for me. That spicy chicken burger, because I had that at the worst time.
It
so
was fucking lovely.
there
that.
was these really nice, like proper, like American style, like really spicy chicken burgers,
Yeah.
and I opted for like the medium spice, like
Yeah.
which was
Y'all
which was
love
fucking
spice.
spice.
You got the
Shut up.
hotter one, and the next level up was
There's three.
Too
there's-
hot.
So there's the normal one, which is spicy, and then they do like a spicier one and an even spicier one.
Yeah.
But I just got it at the wrong time, so it was straight after Orville Peck. I was
Yeah.
incredibly dehydrated, mouth
Yeah.
full of dust. Last thing I needed was like big spicy burger with no
Yeah.
drink.
it was
And
a good burger to
And
be fair.
I really didn't appreciate it, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
wish
didn't- I
I
didn't
wish I
rate
could
it.
have one of them now, because I know I'd love it.
And Nando's would have been good there.
What was the best thing you
Yeah,
ate
it
all
would.
weekend?
The
Spicy
pizza,
pie.
The
the spicy
pie.
pie was
was
great.
the best.
The spicy pizza was so good. I was eating it, and just the roof of my mouth was burning every time, but I just didn't care. I was like, and on the last night, I bought Jonathan one and put it on like you get it on a plate, and I put it on the back of his Beamer. Like as like a parting gift for him,
Yeah.
and I know it would have just got covered in dust.
No, he had it. He said he came back that night,
Yeah,
and I think we were talking or something between the tent and the cab thing, and he was like saying, "Oh, thanks so much for the pizza."
oh,
It was
excellent.
only like 20 minutes after he'd gone to bed, I think.
There's a funny picture of it just on the back of his car.
What car did he have?
M3. Moving on. Um,
Just worth noting, man.
It
It was a nice
is, yeah,
car.
it was
It
an
was a nice
M3.
car.
It was nice. It was a
had
nice car.
a
Had the
few-
roll cage.
few
What
nice
about the
comments.
winds?
The wind.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
the
the
tornadoes.
The tornado that came
that's
through.
just something you don't get over here.
No.
Like,
I mean, you do. Like, we've seen
No, but
festivals
not-
where
not
tents
like
have
that.
been up in air.
yeah,
Not like that where
we,
it was,
we
it
get
was
like
dancing.
we get like strong wind where it's like it'll be windy all day and you'll be like having to take down your shit. But it'll never be like just this one massive gust of wind where it's just out of nowhere and just it takes everyone off
everything.
guard and just fucking takes everyone's gazebos up
It
into the
seemed
air.
to, like, because everyone was in a row, it just seemed to whip up the road, innit? And go
Yeah.
like
You
could
gazebo.
hear
gazebo,
it.
like,
Yeah,
you could hear it getting closer.
You
and
could
closer.
literally hear the screams.
Yeah.
I remember being
Yeah.
sat there and you started to feel a little gust of wind, and then all of a sudden, it was just like a Mexican wave of screams
Yeah.
coming down the line.
Yeah,
And it was like,
What
grab the
the
gazebo! And everyone's like,
that's so out of Saving
Ram-
Private Ryan. Like,
Tough when you're in America, though, isn't it? It's like it's either gonna be your gazebo's gonna go in air, or you're about to get shot.
One or the other. I'm there like, right, Bride is shouting at me, like fucking shouting at the top of his lungs, grab that,
Grab
girl.
that corner,
And I'm like, well,
oh my God.
but I need to film. That's more important to get it on the thing.
Yeah.
And afterwards he goes, whatever I say, you just do the filming, right? Don't worry about it.
$150 gazebo. Don't worry about it. You just film.
I'll tell you, that gazebo was great.
It was, yeah.
You know-
we need to get the easy up.
There's an
ones,
alternate
sure.
universe where we didn't get that gazebo.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you
My
imagine
God.
if we'd have got the shitty ones where you just fit
imagine
the
if we didn't
together?
get one.
Imagine
Yeah.
there's an
Would have
there's
Oh.
in another alternate universe we also didn't get the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a third alternate universe where we kept that tarp in the way it was
Oh.
when we first set it up.
Oh,
as
on
a-
the side.
That
Razzie
was
like literally almost threw up then when I
I-
said that.
God,
So
that was
we
fucking
bought this.
awful.
The sun was like invading our space like significantly more than we thought,
Oh.
even with the gazebo. So we bought the tarp, and like we didn't really know what we were going to do with the tarp. So step one was we basically like boxed ourselves in with the tarp.
Yeah, it's
so
like
you
block
doesn't-
off the sun,
Yeah.
wasn't
So
Yeah.
it did work. There's no sun,
Just made an oven.
but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're
The
like,
tarp
You
was
just
black.
take
It was
it out.
absorbing heat.
God,
There's a
that
bit
was
in
bad.
there's a comment where the guy's like, we must say the thing like, oh God, like the sun keeps moving. And this guy's commented like, no, technically we're moving around the sun.
Oh yeah, shit.
And it's just so obvious, like the sun ain't fucking
No, it's
moving,
me
we're
trying.
moving.
It's me trying to be clever because I say like I don't know if you know guys, but the sun actually moves around the sky,
Oh.
and of course
Oh, and
it's-
he's
it
throwing you
doesn't.
under the bus.
Of course it doesn't. Fuck me, I'm an idiot. I mean, it is still moving, like it's hurtling through space.
Yeah, but
re-
you're right. You are an idiot.
Yeah, fucking hell. Coachella was great, man.
It was so
Yeah.
Really good. And then
What would we do?
Who-
Do you know what? I'll tell you what day I really like. The day where we did all the tourist stuff. Like aside
Yeah.
from the merch, which was fucking atrocious. Like I really liked
yeah.
going in
Yeah.
that tower and
Oh,
going
yeah.
in that NFT
Oh,
thing and
yeah.
getting the T-shirt.
Yeah,
the
who's got-
T-shirt was so good.
Where's my NFT shirt?
It's here, I think.
NFT
Excellent.
shirt.
NFT.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh.
I've got your box logo.
I've got your NFT. No, I've got a large.
Where's the
I've
medium?
got a
Well,
large.
I've
NF
also got a large NFT.
Somebody's got my medium.
I don't.
There's two large
Oh.
and two medium.
reckon
I
it's
have
hell.
I have my medium. It's not here.
Oh, it's coincidence, eh?
It's not here, mate. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
Did you write your
I
name
don't
in
have
it?
is your
Yeah,
name on
it's
the
got-
collar?
It's got the. Remember when you get your name sewn into your PE kit?
I had to do it myself.
Oh,
Oh,
unlucky.
Loser.
Yeah, that was
You
a
know,
good day.
I guess we'll never know.
guess we'll never know.
Um,
Who was everyone's favourite act over the weekend?
Orville
was-
Peck. Very
Orville.
obvious.
I've listened to quite a bit of Orville Peck since, and
He's so fucking
yeah,
good.
he is very good.
Have you?
Yeah, just surprised me.
You've also got along with the homosexual side of things as well.
I don't know. Literally not at all. I mean,
Do you
This
understand
is a safe
his
space.
plight
yeah, of
and-
course.
Yeah, that's fine. If
You do you, and we'll be proud of you no matter what you do.
We're just,
My
we
favourite.
are proud
Not
of you,
not
John.
everything that you do though.
My
There is a line.
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone.
Kylie Ray and Mika were good.
Yeah, Mika was good.
Did you enjoy Mika?
I did. I was a bit upset that I missed the two main songs.
Jake,
So I'll tell you what.
I think
you
Jake
what.
really enjoyed Mika though. You know what I mean?
So Razzie
He
was.
loves me.
Razzie, it's safe to say
What
you
he stands
didn't.
for.
You didn't give a fuck about Mika, did you?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad you said that. So we needed
That
some
doesn't make it better.
We needed some sun cream, and like I'd voiced like I'm really looking forward to Mika, and we needed some sun cream. So I was like, I'll go and get some sun cream, thinking Razzie would be like, well, I don't give a fuck about Mika. I'll go and get it. Just tight lips. So I'm like, right, I'll go get some sun cream. I'll see you in a bit. I know I'll have to miss some of Mika, but I'll go and get some. And I did, and that was the longest fucking walk. And by the time I get back, I've missed fucking Love Today and Grace Kelly.
But
Anyway,
there's just a lesson to being British, innit? It's
Yeah,
just
right.
like, just say, Raz, would you go get the sun cream? I really want
I
to
just
see
didn't want
this.
to tell. I hate like telling people what to, or asking, even
Imposing,
asking
innit? You
people
don't
what
want
to
to
do.
impose.
And now we've had a funny story about it. My favorite. I'm trying to think like what truly was my favorite act.
I didn't like any of
I'd be
them.
surprised if you don't say Big Sean here. Because you were
So
having a great
there was
time,
one
man.
time where I almost cried at an act because it was just so good.
Orville.
Yeah,
And it
probably.
was this band on the back of my phone.
Oh yeah.
Mute. The
First band we saw.
The first band we saw.
Yeah.
And it was a mix of like, it's the first band we're seeing. We're at Coachella after all this
Yeah.
time. And we only saw 3 songs. We fucking walked out of there.
Yeah.
But that You and Me cover is
Yeah.
like so, we always have it on at pre-drinks and stuff. And I didn't get emotional, but
fine if you did.
it was the closest
It's
that
a
I
safe
came.
space. If you do get,
You know me, mate. I'm an emotional fella. Razzie was crying in the fucking van. We all get emotional
Yeah,
sometimes.
but that's just because he's had his drink taken off.
Because he's fucking just got to implicate Raz and what to cover up my own insecurities. But I think they were my favourite of the weekend.
Yeah, they were good. Matthew?
Go on, Brady.
Probably nobody, man.
You can't say
I don't remember
no.
seeing Nobody Man.
was all
What does he
Nobody
play?
man was there.
Swedish House Mafia.
Really?
Oh, they're
No
so
way.
boring.
They were
They're
shy.
I've
so
literally just
boring.
told you nobody, and you've said I've got to pick somebody.
Yeah, but
So literally them.
pick someone else.
But you looked at me during and said, "This is underwhelming. I'm underwhelmed."
Yeah, they were all incredibly underwhelming. Every act
You went and
there.
saw Orville pick.
That was probably the worst act I saw.
Really?
Yeah.
The
It
crowd was fucking awful.
It
The crowd
was,
had
and then
no movement.
you've got this BFG next to us, and then Dan on the other side trying to run to front. Gets about a table whipped at front and comes back.
A table width, classic
You know
measuring.
what's mad? I'll tell
How
you
wide is your table?
and Matt's length.
I'll tell you something mad. The U-turn that happened in my head when Dan at Orville Peck shouted, "Love you!" in like the most Yorkshire accent ever, and I was like,
I fucking love you.
and,
shouted
and,
back?
and I was
love you
like,
too.
oh, Dan, why'd you do that? And then he just replied, he was like, "Love you too," and I was
That
like,
was
oh.
great,
I was
man.
like, oh,
So,
you
yeah,
know what, fair
fuck
play.
you,
That's great.
fuck you.
Like the
That was-
fucking.
I was kicking myself.
I
I
had
was like,
whiplash.
why did we not have that on camera? But obviously you can't
Yeah,
just
when-
guess
how
that
would you
Dan's
know?
going to immediately shout
Hey,
something.
you never know when the autistic outburst comes. It just happens.
It does, mate. It happens
just
to the best
just
of
the
us.
whiplash that I got from my own thoughts, like, oh no, Dan.
Oh, that's cool. What was your
Well done.
favourite?
I said Kylie.
What was your favourite, Raz? Pup.
Kylie.
Yeah,
No contest there.
yeah,
No,
absolutely.
Pup were really good, to be fair.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing them at Trees.
Oh, they're trees. Happy
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Your favourite Orville?
No, Pup.
Yours was Pup.
Oh, no, my favourite was Orville, actually.
Yeah.
The crowd was
Yeah.
shite, but Orville was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was awful.
What else is it?
God, he's got an incredible voice.
Coachella. The thing is, there's so much. Like, there's
almost too much.
there
isn't
was
there?
so many. Like, we talked about this on the video, but just the culture of like everyone being nice to everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
The
really
staff.
See, that's the thing about, like the Hilton, where we booked, where like it could have been a room for 2 people. You know that just because of the culture of the American people, if you'd have booked a room for 2 people and we turned up and we were like, oh, on booking.com it says 5 people, they'd have been like, no problem,
Yeah,
we can sort that out for
They'd
you
have
right
bent over
now.
backwards for you.
Are
Yeah,
you okay
so-
to sleep in the pool, sir? It's heated.
Only at one end.
Does it have Wi-Fi?
But so there was one guy
But-
that I remember,
But at least
and-
it existed.
and he was like part of the like contracted security company, and he had one job for the whole weekend, and he was telling me like he was excited to do this Coachella. He's
Welcome
new
to
with this
security,
company. He's new with this company. I wanted to get the 411 to ensure where the
Yeah,
weak spots
talking
were,
to
so we could
security,
do what we
yeah.
needed to
Yeah.
do. So anyway, and his one job for the whole weekend is to stand and guard the staff toilet in that brick and mortar bar that we were in.
Oh, really?
So all weekend, that's it. He don't get to do the main stage. He don't get to do anything. Just that. So you'd think, God, he's going to be fucking miserable. He's sleeping in a tent. He's probably not paid enough for what he's doing. And he was just sound as fuck, having a chat. like
He is being paid though. Like
Yeah.
he's being paid an acceptable amount because
And that's a really
So
big
that's the
fucking
difference.
difference in it.
But
Like
if
at UK festival, it's all volunteers who just want to go
Yeah.
to the festival, can't be asked
That's a
doing the
good
actual
point,
job.
I
And
guess.
they're all proper professionals.
Yeah.
Like the
But
security getting us in. The
Yeah.
woman there was like, oh, I'm on a 16-hour shift, but you know what? It's good
professional.
money.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's,
Professional.
they
It,
were,
it
they
really
were just
is,
so
man.
nice. Like this guy didn't have to strike up a conversation. he didn't have to.
But he was
did.
probably bored.
And it was, but credit to him. Like, I've
who's
been
this
to
fucking
more,
loser coming over to chat to me
we've
about?
been to more than most, and I've never had an experience with staff, not just him, like all staff that let you into the
high fives.
staff that let you into the drinking area, staff that give you over 21 wristband. Like all the staff were fucking excellent, man.
Someone liked my Tottenham t-shirt, so they gave me a free pack of crisps or chips.
I couldn't believe how many compliments I got that weekend.
Yeah, Valley was getting compliments left, right, and centre.
From alt boys he kept wandering off with.
They must have been blind. It must have been dust in their eyes.
There was that one guy that came up to us was like, I've seen you like quite a few times over the weekend. Like, all your outfits are great.
I'm on 813. Come see me.
All your outfits that are exactly the same are great.
I love that
it works.
denim jacket. That's kind of different to the other one.
What do you mean? This is the only blue denim jacket I got.
That's the only difference in it.
It's Budweiser.
Budweiser.
I like that jacket, Valley. I really do.
Losses from while she
It's a little bit
sleeps.
tight.
Yeah, it's losses from while she sleeps. He's a bit smaller than me.
Was it actually his?
Yeah.
What if it's Depop?
So from his depot.
Okay, then.
What do I say then?
If you like champagne, swing by.
What actually happened when you requested Tom's and A at the sound
Literally fuck all. You know the thing was, so
because that might not even be an American thing, like going up to a DJ with a fucking note.
yeah, I know, but British, innit?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we did that because the DJ was British as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
No way.
So and he sounded like he was from up north. So we thought, like, this will just
I'm
make
gonna
him
put
laugh.
this jigsaw piece with this one.
It'll make us laugh. Like, imagine him. He thinks he's living the high life. He's DJing at Coachella Festival. You know, he's there on his fucking high horse.
And all of a sudden
And
this
little
phone
does
creeps
he see this little ginger
Little
prick.
iPhone.
This little
stumpy
ginger
feet.
prick.
Gordon Ramsay there, elephant man eyebrows.
I wrote it on notes like with my finger.
Tiny cock.
And I just held it up, and then I was like,
Why is
oh,
his knuckles as
shit.
wide as his wrist?
shit handwriting. So then I searched him on Apple Music, so then he could see Tom's in his face.
And then he
And I
peered
don't-
over at Booth and
and I
saw the
just-
light bouncing off your head.
I just thought, like,
Elephant Man's down there.
what's he thinking?
You've been assassinated, haven't you?
I don't even know what you're trying to say at this point.
I smell a massacre.
Oh, look how they massacred my boy. But that was good.
Yeah.
Man.
Anything else?
What would you do different?
Honestly, I don't know. Like everything,
Put
pretty
more
much.
sun cream
I
on.
would take different alcohol.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
terms of spirits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put more
I
spirits.
I'd take some. Yeah, and I'll tell you what I would do. I would risk it more getting booze into the arena.
I'd take a lot more, like, smaller
Yeah,
bottles.
little miniatures, because we only did that on the last day
Yeah.
because it wasn't worth potentially. I don't know what that's the thing. I don't know what the repercussion is if you get caught. Is it as simple as put that in the bin, or is it like
Yeah,
It was
they're not
that
gonna-
simple.
cut your
They're
wristband?
not going to kick you out of there for taking some booze in.
But honestly, like, there's not that much major that I would change. The van was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Good
spot
size.
was perfect.
What did you think of the sleeping arrangements?
I thought it was great. Like,
Yeah.
rotated.
They were fine.
How was yours, Brady? Because you stayed in the tent all.
Mine was quite nice.
Yeah.
I
That
really
was
liked
nice.
that top bunk. That was so
Very
sick when
nice
you'd
one.
wake up
Yeah.
in the morning, unzip your sides and just get the
Look
view.
at the mountains.
Amazing.
I would absolutely force myself to eat more. I think that ruined
Yeah,
a,
good.
a little bit of my time.
And shower more. You should have experienced the showers.
No,
I mean,
It
felt
completely
clean.
The
refreshed
home
you.
shower was nice.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but
there was
real
like
shower
that guy as well that every morning.
Yeah. Shower's always open.
Literally like an NPC.
Oh yeah,
wasn't
explain that.
So when we had a shower, we were literally just doing it from like bottles of water,
Yeah.
just outside the van, just like pouring it on. The guy walked past every morning and he was like, "Oh, wow, you're doing our advice." Like, "Oh well, the showers are always open here, aren't they?" And then like we saw
Shower's always open.
and then we saw him like every morning. He's like, "Oh, shower's always open."
Every time you were showering,
It's like, and it's weird because we didn't shower at the same time every day.
No.
He
Yeah.
just must have spawned in
waited.
to the map.
And you know what? Even though the showers were like, I don't know how long of a walk. How long did it take you to get from
It was
camp and back
probably
to
about-
completely shower?
Probably about 7-minute walk to the shower, a solid 10-minute wait in the queue, 15 for the second time because it was fucking well busy, and then.
It's not bad though, is it?
But you was
Yeah.
immediately into a shower. There was no waiting for a shower to
Was
be
it a
free.
nice shower?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
it was
I waited-
hot and cold. Like
I waited 80 minutes at Latitude for a shower.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Not, that is like not there. There's fucking loads of showers.
Awful.
But you know what? I'd probably still rather do the
Yeah,
well,
interestingly-
homemade shower
And at
'cause
the
it-
end,
'cause it-
you've got a little trough with your taps and a big fucking mirror as well, which
Yeah.
was for a man of your size.
Any air dryers? I don't care.
That's what I mean. It was so nice that
Because
it's
it's
so
so
warm.
Yeah, it's
just
just
dry
dry
off
so
instantly.
quickly.
which is also really good for your kills.
Yeah,
There's two bits that I want to talk about in terms of like the showering.
it's fine. Write it down.
So
we'll put
first
it,
of
we'll put it in
all,
the suggestion box.
Like, it's
somewhere.
weird because it was 35 degrees average, whatever. So you think like you're gonna be the stinkiest, sweatiest, horrible. But I was like cleaner
Yeah.
than at like a download where it's like cold.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but like the side gooch wasn't rotten.
I wonder if it's because like it's just evaporating as soon as
Maybe.
it comes out.
Well, we all know we were smelling nice that weekend.
Yeah,
The Savage.
we all smell the exact same.
We bought some Savage
we
last
did,
night
yeah.
in
I've
the
seen the
toilet for a
£5.
£5.
Man.
And it wasn't Savage. I can assure you now that was not Savage.
Was it in
That
the
was
same
some
bottle?
next rip off.
Oh, it was some fucking
The other thing
shite.
that just kind of came to my mind then, which isn't necessarily about showering, but like it was weird. I remember I'd be like lounged in the chair and like drinking a water out of the cooler, and you'd get the water and it'd drip all over your shirt, and you'd drink the water and it'd maybe spill a bit down your face, and you just didn't care. And it just like
I just
drink
anything.
waters and smell.
no, but you know if you're
You
Oh no, boys!
It was weird how stuff that generally would be like something you need to sort,
Yeah.
or like,
Yeah.
oh, wipe that, or I'm a bit uncomfortable, I'll change my top. You just
Yeah.
didn't have to fucking do it.
Somebody spilt like a whole drink on a chair, and it's like, yeah, put it outside in the sun. 5 minutes later,
it out
sorted,
there. Yeah.
literally fucking bone dry.
It was nice. I remember just being sat there with top off, just pouring water over my tits and belly, just like
You sat
this
in a
is
soaking
nice.
wet chair, and you're like, this is lovely.
Getting
Yeah,
getting
like
a
this.
drink out the cooler with my sweatband on.
Yeah.
And it had obviously come out saturated with icy water.
Yeah.
And you just don't care. Like
fine,
it's
it's
like
lovely, innit?
oh, in 2 minutes
nice.
it's just
Bit
back
dry.
to normal.
Yeah.
I think we took the right amount of water.
Yep.
Even
Yeah,
though quite a few
literally-
were like
literally
half
perfect.
drunk, but
We got really bad at just not finishing our
I
fucking
know.
drinks.
It was annoying because it's just wasteful, but like
Yeah.
you'd have half of it and everybody was guilty.
But
of this.
you'd forget,
then just
like, is
leave
that
it.
mine?
Yeah, or someone would go, not having a beer then? And you'd be like, oh, fuck, okay,
Yeah.
then I'll have a beer.
There's a great shot in the vid. I don't know how well it contrasts to the actual experience, but it was that morning when we were all fucked.
Sunday then.
And I like,
Oh.
you were like alluding to having a beer, so I just passed you one and opened it, so you had to drink it. And you just, I think that beer
That morning
lasted you about 90 minutes.
That morning was so bad. I remember being in my tent and I was fucked. Like, I remember waking up.
You can
and
see why people think we take drugs.
Yeah,
because
and I
we
was like-
look zonked.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just remember breathing like proper heavily, like I was going to die. And then a god from above, Jake, goes, do you want a Powerade, Matt? I was like, oh, please. Off he fucks to go get a Powerade. Brings it back, just like a god.
that's me, mate.
I was just nearly dead that morning.
God, it was so good being at
What happened the
Coachella,
night
man.
before, man. But
Coachella
Even
was
like
so
the
good.
worst points are still like
yeah.
on a good level of wanting
And you know
to
what's sad?
do it again.
It'll never be like that again for
I
us.
know.
Because of
No.
experience.
Never
There's-
will.
Yeah.
Next year we're gonna have thousands of British people there.
That Blink-182 song, mate, the first time.
Yeah,
It speaks
It
the truth.
so is. Like, anytime we go somewhere the second time, never
First
comes
time in
first.
LA is always unbelievable. Second time, not so much.
Third time, fucking
bang
atrocious.
average.
Good God, that was an eye opener for me. My first time in LA. Good God.
We're there bigging up how good LA is and how
this is
amazing
great.
it is.
Oh, that homeless
To be
situation.
fair,
Hotel doesn't exist.
Yep.
On Hollywood Boulevard, passing 6,000 fucking meth homeless people,
Fucking bad one.
and it stinks of piss.
it did
Everywhere.
stink of piss
Yeah.
everywhere.
Like everywhere's
bad, that.
well, when
I
you
didn't
haven't got
pick
a
up on
home,
that.
everywhere's your toilet.
Yeah, it was a bit pissy.
So I got a video idea for next year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So in like say Coachella weekend 1,
yeah.
a few days before that, we fly to America, but we
Yeah.
fly to Vegas,
Yes.
and
I'm
we put
listening.
all our Coachella money on red
God.
or black,
Yes.
and that dictates if we do weekend 1 and 2 or neither.
That'd be a good video doing neither.
That'll be a very good video. Or
Thanks,
a very
guys.
short
We've
video.
spent more money than ever on this video that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a 24 grand
I
week.
think. I honestly do think that Coachella was the best experience of my adult life so far.
It was amazing.
And I went into it with that expectation as well. So to have my expectations that high
And
for it to
still
truly
hit
meet
that.
that,
I wouldn't say that.
what would you say is the best time of your life?
It's between doing Route 66
Yeah.
and being in Switzerland.
Route 66 was fucking.
Like, you're
excellent.
forgetting. You've got like what you've got there is recency bias.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of years we'll see.
Because
You know what?
you've got to
You're
think,
right.
even just that day going
Route
up to the top of
66
mountain
was incredible.
That was
in Switzerland
incredible. That.
is outstanding.
Interesting.
Outstanding.
I'm really glad of people are now like watching Route 66.
Yeah.
Like talking about the video specifically. Let's see how many views we're on, by the way. So we're on 996.5 thousand.
Oh, hurry up.
Shall we just keep podcasting until it hits?
I'm happy to. Yeah, we'll start reading the mean comments. Bridie, you don't have anything to do this evening, do you? So yeah, like so it's interesting seeing where people go on our channel after they've watched the Coachella video.
Straight fucking off of it.
So somehow it's the Weatherspoons challenge,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
Monopoly one, the Weatherspoons one. Like that's got 77,000 views this week,
Yeah.
I wonder why.
and then
Well,
it's Route
Weatherspoons,
66.
isn't it? Like our audience.
I guess, yeah.
The Love of Spoons.
I'm really happy
Yeah.
that Route 66 is getting picked up because it is the best thing we've ever done, and it will
Yeah.
always
It was
be the best
incredible,
thing we've ever done in terms
Yeah.
of a piece of content.
Yeah.
And the trip.
A
Yeah.
What
piece
an
of content
amazing
that
trip.
isn't around festivals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
completely organic, just solely relies on us. That
Us,
as Route
ju-
66.
yeah.
It's not, even though everything we do pretty much is like fully ourselves, and we've got ourselves to kind of pat on the back for. Like it's still using a name like Leeds Fest.
Yeah.
You're relying on
Yeah.
people searching Leeds Fest. whereas-
Especially with Coachella.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Plus, it
other
didn't have
big
Jake in it as
festivals
well.
can we do?
Well, I think we know which big festival we'll be doing this year,
Yeah.
and you better not act like in my dream.
Download.
It's interesting because the content is just so rife now because we've got Coachella Extended.
Yeah.
That'll probably go out this Thursday. That's
Yeah.
the day now, apparently.
Dilute
Alright.
some of the views across 2 videos.
Yeah. And then we've got a day in the life, and then we need to do download shop, and then it's download, and download's a flagship piece of content.
Slam
Yeah,
Dunk
it is.
first.
Yeah,
Oh, Slam
as
Dunk.
well.
But download is a flagship video for us. It's like one of the
Yeah.
2 big uns.
Yeah.
Biggie.
We just hit 300,000 on Leeds
And,
Fest.
and Download's
Oh.
an excellent event.
It
Awesome.
is,
Like,
you know.
Think
You
of
know
the
what?
good
Download's
time
so
we've
good.
got coming up.
It's
Yeah.
just a
Excellent
lovely
time.
weekend is download.
Doghouse.
So we'd really appreciate some help on Patreon, and we do have that new thanks button down there,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. We've run for exactly an hour.
Oh,
That's quite good,
But
isn't
we've
it?
not spoke about
This
the
is
flight home.
this is an hour and 1 minute 53.
That's interesting.
That's
Weird. You
really
said exactly an
interesting. That.
Who's
What
right?
about the
who's wrong?
flight home?
Shit.
So worth mentioning, we for like flights and shit like that, you kind of like pay for your seat. So you
This is the
guarantee-
first time we
yeah.
haven't done
Is
that.
this
on
the
the
first
big,
time you've
Yeah.
paid for a flight?
cross-Atlantic ones.
Do you
He
not
didn't-
know how
he
it
didn't-
works?
he didn't-
Do you know how it
pay for the
works?
flight.
He didn't pay for his flight, mate.
We didn't pay for the seats going there because they just sorted it when we
Yeah.
got there. We just asked politely, and they just sorted us out altogether.
No
It was no
problem.
problem. So
But we did that on way home and it didn't
Wha-
work out
yeah,
so well.
Yeah, tried the same.
flight.
Tried the
was.
same strategy. Apparently, coming back on a Monday,
After
it's quite busy.
Oh, the woman though was a bitch, man.
Yeah,
she was
there
a
were- I
country.
think we all had like
Like-
someone rude or like.
No,
Yeah,
not
what?
even there.
Oh.
Like
Got
me
it.
and Kelly, because I was anxious. I was like, I'm a big guy. I don't want to sit in like a certain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get up to the desk where this woman is, and we're like, oh, there's a group of 5 of us. Any chance we can kind of sit together? And she's like, oh no, like blah blah blah. blah. And then I remember there was There was a set where there's like 2 seats next to each other, another 2 seats next, and one kind of in the middle of them.
Yeah.
You think like, there's a 5. No, she sticks us all on an individual row.
Yeah.
In the middle seat.
The worst seat.
Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to try and be a proper bitch.
It was literally the worst,
Seating
the worst
arrangement,
possible
yeah.
seating arrangement we could be while still being that close.
Mine wasn't too bad though. I met a nice lad who's big on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
TikTok.
Young no, YouTube.
I thought
he's
it was
got 11 million subscribers on YouTube.
Is
Yeah,
he?
but he does shorts. It's called Dan Rhodes.
A bit like Jonathan wearing shorts.
Hey. But
Yeah.
no, he's very, very.
Don't be shouting
Well,
out if
some
he's
of-
not shouting us out.
But yeah, I think
Some of us got luckier than others. So like I get to my middle seat,
Yeah.
and thankfully there's a couple there. So they move up, and I get the aisle. But then Razzie in front of me, Razzie was in the middle.
Yeah. And
That was the best flight I've ever been on.
the people.
What?
What?
don't get that.
The
at
pe-
all.
It was an
the
atrocious flight.
food was
The
dreadful.
first
food-
Thomas Cook flight.
Oh, recency bias.
Ooh.
It is with you,
That-
man. You're so recency biased.
The flight for me coming home was great because I spent 6-7 hours editing, so that was actively fun. I enjoyed doing that. when you've got no else to do,
Yeah.
it was nice to do. And then I got 2 hours sleep. And the only issue for that flight with me was my cough. I was very conscious of my cough.
That was
an
mad.
issue for everyone else as well.
So I sit behind Kel. So I get there, and there's a husband and wife, but they're not as welcoming as Kelly's couple that he had. So straight away I go, I'm sat there. The woman's like, nah.
Yeah, she said, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. She's got disabilities, so she's got the middle seat or something like that. So I was like, right, well, I am sat there. So I go to sit in the middle, and her husband then gets up and storms off to another seat somewhere else on the plane. And she's like, oh, we've already had to move once because they booked the seat in between us over there. So he's gone off to there. So I was like, all right, no worries. So I'll sit on the end. And I'm proper talking to this woman, trying to like get her on side. Like,
I used to be muscly.
yeah, I was a big
My
man
dad
at
used to
one
have 2
point.
legs.
Look at my back.
Yeah, her dad only had 1 leg as well. I've got the Dre back.
Still a dad, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's still around. I went home and saw him. It was lovely. Literally hugged him this morning.
Shit.
I hugged mine yesterday.
Yeah, nice that, innit? Do you hug all of yours?
Where's my hug?
I text my parents sometimes and get a reply. So
Yeah, nice.
Fair.
So we sat there and then getting on, and just like this woman next to me over this side, super conscious about everything. Kelly's up front.
It was a typical Kelly
Really,
cough.
really bad. And
still
she's
got it
literally
now.
flinching every time he coughs, like mask goes
Just
straight
being in the
on.
desert.
It's
Man.
because
Oh,
it's
man.
there's so much noise, it echoes through the caves as it comes out and just gets louder.
It was mental.
It was uncomfortable for me because obviously, I mean, I am of the opinion, if you're scared of COVID, don't get on the flight. I know there's going to be times where you need to, but grow up. But but obviously, I don't want to detract from anyone's experience. So I'm sat there and I'm like trying so hard not to cough every time. And there's not worse than trying not to cough because like it builds up.
it's like that meme with that kid with like proper red face, like
Yeah, the guy holding it in.
yeah.
Oh, so he's coughing, and then he's turning around talking to me. So the woman, she's more or less on my aisle. She's now, he's with him. So every time he coughs, she's like flinching, and she's like looking over at me, and I'm just straight forward into the screen. It was so awkward, that flight.
And another thing that was awkward on that flight was I'm editing, and it was a night flight, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
so the lights were down. So I've got my MacBook Pro with
How many
HDR.
nits is that?
HDR display, and I dimmed it as low as I could work with, which
Yeah.
was low. But some of the footage was shot in HDR, so that's like brighter than the actual screen brightness setting. It's weird. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No,
Like,
I
it's
don't.
Handy.
so your whole screen is dim, but HDR is like brighter in just those zones. Anyway, so I'm going through all the footage, adding it to the timeline, editing the video, but you don't really have any kind of warning when it's like a shot of someone like pissing or like because there's a lot of nude stuff that we do film, which sounds weird, but like, you know, we did the Circle of Trust and that whole thing's filmed,
It's just
and you
all
can
cock,
just
innit?
see my cock like fully on it, or Razzy's little chopper, or
I mean, you can barely
or
see
even
that
just like being sick, like stuff stuff you don't want to subject people to when they're just trying to get their economy flight
Yeah,
back
when
to
they're already
London.
shit in the pants that you haven't got.
They should be asleep at that time.
While they're eating the
Well, they can't because of the
vegetarian cottage
HDR. So that was awkward as well. I had to
Yeah.
do a weird editing process where like I'd see something in the timeline, I'd just put like a little
But
marker on
but
there.
at least
like-
you were in the aisle. Like,
yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, sat having 2 people watch.
I was in the middle of 2 people, and it's like, can this be a rule that so if you're in the middle, you get both armrests?
Yeah, that should be a rule.
Yeah, I remember looking across at you later on the flight, and you was
Yeah,
just so
like-
like little.
yeah.
tucked
Yeah,
up, like,
you were looking at him from your fucking ivory tower, mate, in your executive
Hey,
upgrade that you
yeah.
wrangled
How
yourself.
the
yeah.
fuck did you?
did a
I
little-
remember like looking back and Bridie's not there, and I'm like, oh, he must be in toilet, because Bridie was saying, oh, I might go in toilet for like 6 hours and take my iPad and have a nap. I was like, there's no way he's done that.
In what world are you napping in?
So I'm like looking back, and he's not there for like 20 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, he must be gone. And then I catch him out of corner of my eye on front row playing with
Yeah,
leg
with
room.
extra leg room. Yeah,
He's got that fancy screen that like flips over.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. So that's where her husband was sat. So I see him over there, and he's like, he's not comfortable. He's like getting up, walking around.
well, it's got an extra fucking leg
I
room.
might,
Man.
have, I might have a little bit of look at that. So I said to her, does your husband want to swap? He can come here. I'll go over there.
A negotiator.
And he's
Shrewd
like, later,
negotiator.
maybe later in the flight and stuff like that. So that's fine. Just let me know when. So it was like a nice little like
Shrewd negotiators.
a little package. I was like, you know what? If I can get 5 hours done in this seat and then 5 hours in the other seat.
It's like a different flight.
Yeah,
then,
it's
isn't
like
it?
a completely different flight. So like, and then I was nodding off, comes over. Do you want to swap now? Brilliant. Straight over to phone.
Jammy.
Absolutely say yeah.
But then the shock is I'm sat next to a new couple. So they're asleep when I rock
Yeah.
up. So I sit down and he's got a
Goes to
pillow.
sleep, a little old man.
He's got a little pillow on his face. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being sat there watching
Those pillows are shit, aren't they?
watching someone on an iPad. Wakes up, looks over, looks back. Goes straight back round to like look like
Fucking
who the
whiplash.
fuck's this fat guy sat next to me now? So yeah, that was pretty funny.
There was something else. There's so much to talk about, man.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole trip.
It's interesting with the comments, obviously on the video, how like some people really just don't get us. And
They don't get the vibe,
They
man.
don't understand it at all.
Most people do.
Yeah, majority of people do. which is
99%
lovely.
of people think.
It's an overwhelmingly positive response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Think
it's just
like
a few that just really just don't. understand.
997.2. God, it
Hurry
really,
up.
It
It's the
really
few
has
that
slowed
slow
down.
down.
There's
Yeah.
a few
Fucking
that think
hell.
they're cooler than us.
Hurry up! I've got a fucking radiator to move it home.
And
But-
realistically,
but we were,
everyone's a fucking
Oh, is
nerd.
that yeah?
It's interesting that like it's been nice seeing so much of our like existing community like sharing our excitement
Yeah.
and sharing this win.
Yeah.
And it's nice
Yeah.
seeing the community get so much bigger. It's like,
It is, yeah. It almost feels unauthentic, even though it
Yeah.
is fully. It's the most authentic it ever could have been.
but it's been like 30,000 plus subs.
Yeah, it almost don't count to me. Someone was saying,
Feels
"Oh,
like
is,
we cheated."
is TPD not going to be a niche anymore?" Someone put in the group, and it still will. This is just a fluke.
But is that the only
Yeah.
reason you like us? Because we're niche.
Cheeky cunt.
We're not
Make
niche
us
with-
mainstream
we're
and
not-
then see if you like us.
We're not
Really
niche with
good
TPD.
nightclub, that.
But
Niche
what was
nightclub.
my point? I can't remember
I
what my
don't know,
point.
I've
Oh
probably-
yeah,
probably
no,
said
something.
no.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how many people are just assuming like, not so much, but like broken America, like we've got a new American audience. We really don't. Like
No.
most of these viewers are British,
Tossers.
Yeah.
and I get it because
Good.
British want to see their own in this environment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think Americans particularly care, though. There
Yeah.
obviously is some Americans. on there.
Americans see it and be like, "I want to party with those guys."
And then
Yeah.
they realise what this kind of party is, and it's like, wait, you just get fucked up immediately.
Sorry, mate. We laugh about PSPs. do you know?
Oh,
taking
God.
the PSP
That was so funny.
It was such a
I'll
great
I'll
idea.
take a photo of you guys. Yeah. On the PSP.
On the PSP.
On the PSP.
So the
Wait a
PSP.
That's like ingrained into like the core memories back
it
here.
is. This guy just in disbelief. The PSP is going to be coming to every major festival now. Zoe London asked if I can take some photos of a DJ set at the
Of course she
doghouse
did it.
with
See
Captain
my man over there.
Captain
Some-
Captain backup
Some
dancer.
people go to uni. They like spend years of working in the field, like band photography. My man owns a PSP with camera
Rocks up with
attachment.
PSP, mate. Do you know
I
what?
literally had a guy go to me. You know, I've worked for nearly a decade to be able to play at Leeds Fest. And then, how the fuck are you DJing?
Well, I raised that. I know he's obviously probably saying it in jest, but we've worked for longer than a decade and
yeah, we have.
probably a lot harder than him.
Yeah.
With the greatest of
And
respect.
consistent as well.
And consistent. So fuck you.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening to our Coachella podcast. It's lovely to sit together as a group and almost ring in our first 1 million view video. We manifested it at the start
Should
of
we
the
just
year.
fake it?
We knew what was coming. Obviously, no one else knew what we were up to, but we were quiet all year. And it's so
Yeah.
great to see it just play out how we wanted.
I think a few people could read into it and figure out what it was. There were
Yeah, a couple of
definitely a lot of
people.
people who were mentioning it before.
A couple of people did kind of get the hint, but I'm just someone who I just want to shout about something as soon as I know it. So it was really hard for me to keep my fucking mouth
Do
shut.
you remember the idea was that we were like, let's not even post an Insta whilst we're there. Let's keep it quiet and then just drop the video.
Yeah.
That soon went out the fucking window, didn't it?
Well, when you're spending that much, mate,
Yeah.
you know, you need to get your likes.
Not for some.
Yeah. Didn't have a camera single Insta.
There you go.
Bridie snapped his fucking phone camera off the back of his iPhone just so he didn't have to shoot a single clip.
I was like, Bridie.
I'm the talent man. I don't need to be
Oh,
shooting.
Danny White 2.0. We're gonna let us know if you'd like another one of these, maybe next week,
Coachella videos.
where we go through another one of these podcasts. We've got a lot of negative, hateful comments. It might be funny for us to read them
Yeah,
and
that'd be
react to
fun to
them. So if that's something you're into, then let us know.
Oh, and one final thing. Fuck me, the amount of comments saying like, "Come to this festival." If you didn't like Coachella, we did like it. Come to this festival in Florida. Come to this festival.
Bonnaroo. Come to Burning Man. Boomtown in the United Kingdom. Everyone's saying go to Boomtown. What the fuck is it?
I was wondering.
Thank you.
Boomtown is like another kind of like I don't know.
Park life.
No, it's one they don't even like release a lineup or some shit like that.
It's not. I don't think it's one for us, but it's another like beautified festival. You know, like the stages are like.
Flowers.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Tell me who's playing though.
I can't. There's no fucking lineup.
You know, that's the point.
But I think it might just be all like DJs and shit and stuff we don't care about.
Electric.
I like the people who say like, "Oh, if you like that festival, come to this one. It's Bingley Fest, and it's like the world's smallest."
Oh, don't be dissing Bingley.
Sorry, not Bingley.
You went to Bingley once, didn't you?
It's Bingley.
It's somebody else.
I've been to
It's
Bingley
Burley
Festival.
Festival, and it's like you'll have a mad time, and it's like it's literally a village.
But the thing is, we would have a mad time. We'd have a great time.
But that's because we
The
have a good
time is
wherever
us.
we go.
Have a
We
great
are
time
the
in
time.
here.
We've
Yeah.
had a good time sat here for an hour and 10.
But there's only so many
It's
festivals.
an hour and 15.
There's only so many weekends
Someone's
in the
lying
year.
here. Always fucking lying.
We would obviously love
No
to
cure
go
over it.
to all of these festivals you're recommending. And, you know, there's a few festivals we're doing this year that we've never done before. We're
Aye.
very excited about them. Trying to line some more up as well.
Aye.
Sending out some emails. I
But if you
think
could
we've paid
donate-
enough out of our pocket this year.
If
So
you
maybe
could keep watching the
Got fuck all
ads,
left in mind.
don't skip the ads. Do we get more money if we don't skip the ads?
I think so. I don't really know how it works.
I've always thought.
Help
that.
us out
I've
anyway.
always said
Anyway, you
that.
can.
Monzo me a quid.
Yeah.
If
do that.
every one of your Monzo does a quid, I'd be a millionaire and
No.
I'd keep that to myself.
This is podcast. It don't count. You'd be a 4K. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right then. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, everyone. We love and appreciate you. It's been a wild week. We couldn't have done it without you.
No.
And that's it from me.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Anything else
Good
from
night.
anyone else?
Until the next one.
Right. Sorry,
Yeah.
I pressed the wrong button.
Was
Good
it-
evening.
It's that one. It's that one.
Can you like to come to my house?
God.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
They're loud,
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Should we go for Nando's?